All right, guys, I am so excited. I am Stephanie Dunn, number one money earner of the company, been with the company for 13 years, almost 14. Crazy to say that. And I am excited about month end. I'm always loving month end because it leads to the beginning of the month and just starting out strong. So we're going to go over this Zoom pretty quickly. I know that we have a special guest with Jamie Marie, and she likes to talk a lot. So I said, so do I, but I want to hear from you and all of your, tips that you can give. She's an amazing leader in the company. So I can't wait to have her share a little bit of her story and then how she closes out month end. But you guys, we have a lot going on as far as what we have available, success bonuses, make sure you're closing those out. Customers, they can join with no membership fee right now. So that $20 is waived. What a great time to really follow up and reach out to people to see if they want to become a customer. You got your 150s, 350s, all part of that success bonuses. And then we have Ruby Emerald bonuses, diamond and above bonuses. So there is a lot on the line. So it's whatever it takes time, but I'm not going to talk anymore. And we're going to bring on, I think Jamie can actually unmute. See if you can do that.
Yes, I can.
Yay. I'm so excited to have you on, you guys. She is just like such a bright light and willing to share with everybody. So I love that. It's no wonder that she's successful. She takes the business seriously. I know, I could ask her, I have the questions that I was going to ask her, but one of the things that if you go to her page and you follow along, success leaves clues. And one of the first things you'll notice is her story with her weight loss journey and what that pulls in. And I love that, you can go to that and you're still showing where you started. It's not like you're dropping a ton of weight now. And I think sometimes people get caught up in the, okay, I have a story, but it was from so long ago. And how can you still incorporate if you're not losing weight, but how can we share about those? So that's one of the things that I love about you is you're just putting yourself constantly out there. So let's get them a little bit of who you are, and then we'll jump into those questions.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Hi, guys. My name is Jamie. It was funny. She asked my last name, and I'm like, well, people really don't know me by my last name, but I'm Jamie Grimius. I'm from Minnesota. I moved down to Texas 8 years ago, and I just this past year moved back up to South Dakota. So you do not have to be from a big city to be successful with this business. I actually graduated with about 30 people in my high school graduating class. And I don't even have a stoplight in my town. There's gravel roads and stop signs. So when I joined this business, I really didn't have a big network at all. I grew up on a farm, very, very small town girl. And I just wanted something more for myself. And so I've been in the business now for 7 years. I just celebrated 7 years a couple weeks ago. And guys, when they say it goes fast, like it really does. And like time's going to pass anyways. So why not try something new along the way? And so I was one of those girls who my best friend at the time was doing this business, and I was one of those who just watched. Drop a number one if you never commented on anything, but you watched and you always wondered, is there could I do that? Like, I don't know if I could do that. I didn't have a big network like my upline did. I didn't know if I could do what she could do. I never wanted to put myself out there. The girl you see talking tonight would have never been able to talk on a Zoom before with almost 200 people on. I'd have been stuttering every other word. And so I just knew she was making over $10,000 a month. And for me in a small town, she also lived in South Dakota. And I'm like, okay, if she can make that type of money, I can make $100. So like I said, I moved to Texas. I was all by myself. I really wanted to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And so the only way that you could go out and do your dreams is going for it. So I moved 800 miles away from my family all by myself. And I was working night shift, labor and delivery. It was my dream job, guys. I went to college, got a double degree. It was something that when I grew up, that's what I wanted to do. That was my dream life. Doing what I do now was never my plan. If you would have told me 8 years ago, Jamie, you're going to be one of those girls, and I would have been like, no way. But here I am. Like, it just goes to show that your journey can change, your dreams can change, and it's going to change when you as a person change. And so yeah, I joined the business, and guess what? I did nothing. So another thing, drop number 3, if you did that, if you joined and then you were just like, okay, I'm too scared. I don't actually want to do this. So I joined, and I have 3 older brothers, and guys, they were savages. They were mean. And so I remember posting something and they would comment on my stuff all the time, and they would be so mean. I'm from, like I said, a small town. So all those mean girls would comment and just talk like so bad. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. So I stopped. I didn't do anything for a good 3 months because I was a people pleaser. I just didn't like when people thought bad things of me, even though, and especially because I wasn't that educated about the business. So I didn't really know what I was doing either. And so I just was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. I'm just going to like sit back for a little while. Well, guys, 3 months later, okay, do you remember I live 800 miles away from my family? I found out I was pregnant. Very unexpected, right? And so I'm 800 miles away from my family. I moved down there to be a DCC. Well, you're pregnant now. You can't be a DCC. I'm working night shift, labor and delivery. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? Like my dreams, for me, I thought it was rock bottom. I was like, my dream of being a DCC is over. My dream of, like, I was working night shift. How am I supposed to raise a child? Like I was already living paycheck to paycheck, having to ask my family for help, which I am like very independent and I hate asking for help. Drop number 4, that's you. Like I don't like asking for help. I was embarrassed every single month if I needed to, ask for help. And so for me, I already had signed up. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just try it. Just try it. I got nothing to lose. I had already paid the $99 to get started. You know what? Let's just try it. And guys, I tried it. And guess what happened? I ended up replacing my full-time income with this business 8 months later. Okay. 9 months, literally 1 month after I went diamond, I had my son and I did not have to go back to the hospital. I remember my boss calling me saying, Jamie, are you going to come back? And I was like, no, I don't have to. Like, that was the coolest thing. Like, I was like, I'm making money from social media now. Like, that was insane to me. And so a year after that, I was able to go double diamond, saw my first $5,000 paycheck in a month, and I almost had a heart attack. And a year after that, I went triple diamond, saw my first 5-figure paycheck. And I was like, I remember being on FaceTime with my mom and just bawling, being like, is this real? Like you could actually make this type of money, even knowing not very many people. And then here this past year, we ended up going presidential diamond as a team. And it's just been really cool to really change along the way. I've found that I've changed completely who I am from when I first started 7 years ago. And I'll be able to kind of touch like a bit of that later on.
I love that, you guys. What an awesome story. I didn't know that about you going like to be a cheerleader. So constantly learning too, and how God uses us, you guys. It's interesting. So don't ever think that it's, he has a plan for us. Not always do we understand that. And what a blessing that you had this business and then not to be able to, choose to not go back into labor and delivery or the emergency or being a, third shifter nurse. So that's so awesome. So hearing a little bit about that, I think some of the things people think, they say they can't do these things, they can't do this, or they're uncomfortable doing this. So what I love to do is know, what are your strengths? What do you feel? Everybody has a strength, and you guys can think about that tonight. Like, I like talking to people on the phone. Not everybody does, and that's okay. So what are your strengths? Maybe it's texting, maybe it's doing videos. What would your strengths be, Jamie? And kind of differentiate that and say, this is how I've had the success. And maybe you've learned and have changed strengths too. Cause I heard you say you're different than when you first started. So have the strengths changed?
Yeah, definitely. So when you asked me that question, it actually reminded me like of whenever I was in like going jobs to jobs, because I feel like that was a question, right? Like, have you ever dropped a number 6 if you've been asked that question? And I feel like it's such a good question for me, my strength is consistency. And I think that is a very hard strength for a lot of people, is to stay consistent. And I think I can stay consistent with my business because I can stay consistent with like my before and afters. And guys, I want you to know, if you have lost weight and you've gained it back, just know it's okay. And you can do it again. I've been on 2 journeys now, because I lost weight and I gained it back and I lost it again. And I'm telling you, it was so beneficial for my business. Every time I went on a weight loss journey, I promoted in this company. And so just know you can be yourself. You can be real. You're human. If you lose the weight, gain it back, it's okay. People want to know you're relatable. So that was just a little tidbit I did want to add on that. But one of my strengths is definitely being consistent. I found this business is really based on consistency, and it's really hard to build a business when you are very inconsistent. And so one thing I've always done every single day, and my team can attest for this, is I'm very consistent. I am going to show up every single day, even if I'm having a bad day, because guys, what we do isn't hard, right? My dad was a farmer. That's hard. That's hard work. What we do isn't hard. It's simple work. It's just being that consistent. And I think because we think mentally that it's not that hard, right? That we put it on the back burner, right? And we don't really prioritize it. So then whenever it comes last, whenever our day is really hard, then we aren't consistent with it, because everything else is coming in front of your business. And so the second one is, I'm always pivoting on what's working. So guys, I'm always being a learner. So I try to never ever be like the best at something in my little circle. Like, I'm always wanting to know what's new, because with this business, what I did to go diamond was not what I did to go double. What I went to go double was not the same as triple, and so on and so forth, because I was always growing to something new. Guys, when I went triple diamond, it was all host to post only. I only worked Facebook. I did no other platforms. It was only host to post, and it changed. From triple diamond to presidential, I did reels. So it definitely changed, and I was able to pivot. So I'm always watching. I'm not comparing, because comparison will take you out so fast. I was always watching and really trying to be a student to see what's working for all these other people who are maybe having success. And I wasn't getting discouraged by it. And I think that's really hard, or really easy for some people to do sometimes. When you see other people having success, you can immediately wonder, why not me? Like, how is she having success and how am I not? I'm doing what she's doing and I'm not having success. But just know your chapter is way different than what my chapter is. And I tell my team that all the time. I am on chapter 600 and you may be on chapter 30, and you're going to get there. It may take a couple more chapters, but you will get there, because everyone has just a different time in this business of when they're going to promote. So those are the 2 things. And then I love self-development. And I kind of said that a little bit earlier. I'm obsessed with growing myself, because I've always wanted to be the confident girl, the girl who could actually go on stage and be able to speak without blacking out. And so I knew I had to grow myself along the way if I wanted to ever be that confident girl. And so the girl you see today has a lot of self-development inside her.
You guys, I love this. And one of the questions is, this makes me go to, if you're consistent and you're not getting the results, do you believe what you're doing? A lot of it comes down to, she just gave you a clue, is mindset, is personal development. Do you believe 1000% in these products? Are you taking them? Are you confident enough to share what you're doing? And I think that's the difference, is don't be just caught up in the motion of being consistent, because it's easy to post, it's easy to do the things, but are you following up? Are you not waiting for people to comment or message? Are you doing things that are in your control? And I think that makes a big difference, is if I'm reaching out to somebody, I'm believing that they're going to want this product. And I'm constantly like following up. Like, I feel like I need to show that. Like some people, it's like 800 follow-ups because I'm like, I know that they want this. Like, why wouldn't they? I consistently show the before and after pictures. And I think that's the consistency part is, are you showing those before and after pictures? You know, you might have had a conversation with someone and all of a sudden a week later, you show a different before and after picture that's more relatable for them. And so we don't know what those pictures are. I swear I can do the same wording on different pictures and it does not. I wish I had a magic wand to tell you guys, but I don't because people are different. We just don't know. I do know that it takes at least 7 to 10 times before somebody's like, okay, I want it. That's why you see Facebook ads. That's why you constantly see, you know, if you're talking about something, hair growth or whatever, it's like, I see Ricky Lake stuff. I see all kinds of things like are popping up. I'm like, it's my phone is hearing me. So you want to be your own algorithm for that part. And I think, you know, Samantha feeling that like, okay, take a minute to really evaluate what is your goals? Is it customers? Is it distributors? Why haven't I got those? If I'm doing all the consistency of what we just shared, you need to reach out to your upline or even reach up higher so that somebody can kind of dissect that for you. But I think that you nailed that, Jamie, on everything as far as being consistent, having the mindset. And we share this every week. You're going to hear from top leaders and top people that are doing it. You're going to hear almost the exact same thing. Like, we're not prepping them to say these things. This is what each person really believes, but they're following people that have had the success. And even outside of network marketing, you're going to hear consistency. They kept showing up. They checked in before and they stayed later than somebody that's not successful. So I love that. So let's go to the next. How do you feel then? Do you get the most customers and distributors? So you've been consistency, but what do you think is your magic that you enroll customers and distributors with?
I like that question. I get it a lot. And I liked what you said earlier. It does take the full circle. You can't post without messaging. You can't message without posting. You can't follow up without, growing your network. Like, it takes all the daily tasks. And that's why there is a 6 list, right? That's why you have your daily tasks. It's not for just the 2 easy ones, not just your stories and your posts. It's for all of them. So how I get my distributors and my customers. So I want you guys I'm just going to preface this. You could go to my page and you could see, wow, she's got 150,000 followers. That's why she gets customers. I want you to remember, I started with 100 friends on Facebook, 100, just 100. So those followers just came within maybe the last 8 to 9 months because of Reels and TikToks. So I built to triple diamond without that kind of following. And I think I need to sometimes people will say that to me, well, you have a big following. That's why, well, I had to get there somehow. And that's, where your daily tasks come into play is you won't know unless you try. So with those TikToks and those Reels, you can't try one time and then hope that you're going to go viral because it's really hard. And I don't know why I have no idea what the algorithm is. I could do one TikTok and then the next day I could do one and it goes viral and you just have no idea why. But for me, being a product, I think I heard it from you, Steph, is you can control what you can control. Okay. And that's what you have to remember that. And that's why you have to do your daily tasks, because you can control what you are doing, right? You can control if you are adding to your network or if you're not. If you're posting what you are doing, you can control that. So how do I get my customers and my distributors? One, I'm a product of the product. Okay. Point blank. I always say, how do you know how to sell a product if you are not taking it? And I'm not saying you have to go out and try all 50 products. Okay, find one product. I'm telling you, I could sell this fat burning coffee in my sleep because I talk about it so much and I love the way that it makes me feel. So once you have that firsthand testimony on a product, you are not going to stop talking about it. I am so obsessed with the taste, the energy it gives me, how it curbs my appetite, that I'm telling everyone about it. If you go look at my page, people know that's the girl that sells coffee, because I'm always talking about it. And you do not have to talk about 17 different products. You got to find one, and you find one, and it's going to make you $1 million. And you make sure you are a product of the product, and you are taking it every single day, and you are showing it. Because if I were to lose 45 pounds, and if I would have gone on my stories and I said, hey guys, I took a shot of ketchup every single morning, what do you think people would do? They're going to go out and they're going to buy some ketchup, and they're going to take a shot of that every single morning, because they believe me. They saw me personally taking it. Guys, they're your friends on social media, okay? They're not mine. So why don't you show yourself on there? They are going to believe you 1,000%, no matter what the product is. If you love the product and you keep talking about it, people are going to believe you, and then they're going to buy from you because they feel that trust from you. So that's number one, is a product of the product. Number two, Reels and TikTok. Okay, that's where right now, that's what I'm having success with. And I think every team's a little different. Every person's a little different. That's why you can't not do one thing. So I tell my girls, if they're not having success with Reels and TikToks yet, okay, I'm using the word yet, because you will eventually, if you keep trying, then you're going to have to do host to post. You're going to have to, do whatever you can right now to get those customers until maybe you have that viral video. And I'm telling you, whenever I started doing Reels and TikToks, the reel that went viral, I posted in November, and I'll never forget. I posted that video and I got maybe 100 views. And I remember being like, I'm famous. I was like, 100 people watched my video. This is so cool. I thought it was just the coolest thing in the world. And guys, it never went technically viral until January. So I just kept posting reels, but I was still having to do host to post. Like, I was still having to get out my 10 every single day. But guys, January came around, that reel that I posted in November went off. Some random middle of the night, who knows why, I woke up and it had over 1 million views in one day. And I was like, what in the world is this? Guys, I went and I signed 200 customers in the month of January. I signed 200 customers in the month of February. I signed almost 300 in March. Okay, so and it was all from that one reel. So just know you have to be able to try something, but if you don't get the results from it right away, don't stop. Don't stop because you don't think you're good at something. Keep going, keep posting those reels. If you feel like you're maybe uncomfortable, you don't think that you look that good, it doesn't matter, okay? You will get better at it. You just have to keep trying. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get at it. So maybe at the beginning, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just adding some text. I don't even know how to set the duration on it. I had no idea, but guys, I went and I Googled it. Okay. You can go to YouTube. You can be resourceful. And so that's the second thing, is I'm doing reels and I'm doing TikTok. And then the third thing that I find is really the best part is I'm putting those reels out, and I'm doing all three. Okay. So I do the Instagram reels, the Facebook reels, and the TikTok. So guys, we have the platform. So why aren't you using them? Use them. Even if you only have 100 friends on Instagram, I always tell my girls, okay, imagine if you were in a room, you yourself were in a room, and you had 100 people in there. You guys are going to open your eyes real quick and be like, wow, I got a lot of friends. Okay, that's kind of cool. So don't think just because you're not viral and have all these followers that you don't have people to buy from you. That's not the truth. Okay, that's 100 people. That's a lot of people. So the thing that I always do that I find the most success out of, whenever I go and I'm talking on my stories, okay, you guys can go to my Facebook and Instagram every day. I will show myself taking the coffee every single morning, and then I show a before and after. Always on my posts, just like Steph was just talking about, I'm always showing other people's before and afters, because guys, that's what people want to see. They want to see success with things. They want to know that the product's working. They want to see what it's doing. And I'm showing different types of people. So like, I will get people who will comment on my stuff and they'll be like, Jamie, she's 25 years old. Okay. I'm 50. I can't have those results. So then I'll share a different age range. I share just different different types of people. And I feel like that it's able to be relatable to multiple different people, because I'm always showing before and afters. And I think we got away from that for a long time because we wanted this like aesthetically beautiful looking page. But guys, before and afters are where it's at. I get hundreds of comments every single time from just those before and afters. So I think that's where I get a lot of my customers. And then my distributors, guys, I think where we're sleeping a lot on distributors is our loyal customers. Okay. They've already taken the product, right? They are already trying it. If they come to me when I'm following up with them, asking them how they are doing with their products, and they said that they love it, or if they tell me, hey, I lost 5 pounds, you know what I'm saying? I said, girl, you'd be so good at this business with me. Like you would love what I do because you already have results. So that is one way I'm getting my distributors. I have a lot of loyal customers who just upgrade to be a distributor. And then the second thing is just showing my story on my page.
You guys, that's a huge clue. If you haven't wrote that down, make sure that you're going back. And another thing is it makes you be taking care of your customers. So we should really be catering to those customers. Immediately when we get people to order for us, I'm like, hey, thanks for ordering. Would you mind putting up a post for me too? Like, don't be afraid to ask. You've already got them trusting you. So they're going to pretty much do anything that you ask. Like they bought into you for a reason. So use that confidence that you have once you got that customer to try to grow your network even more. And it might just be doing a giveaway post or something. So, how can you grow that network even more? And I think that would be a great thing. So make sure you guys write that down. If you've gotten customers this month, you better be following up for the beginning of April because more things are coming. Or maybe you need one distributor now and they've only been on the product for a week. They can get results in a week. Like I've got people, that are messaging like, I need all of this. I'm like, oh, same thing. You need to be a distributor if you want this, this, and this. Like, why wouldn't you? Our distributor kits are awesome, you guys. Like, I'm so thankful that we've upgraded them. They look so good. It's product that everybody wants, and we know they're going to get results. So I absolutely love that you shared that and not waiting. And I think you're right, Jamie. Don't underestimate how many people you have, because it can take one person to completely change your business. You don't know who that is. Like you never know. So don't ever stop doing that. What is your non-negotiable? So you guys, I remember hearing these words, I was like, non-negotiable. I don't know. I was like, I never even thought of that. Like, this is just what I do. But this is something that she does every single day without question. And I probably already know she's probably already said it, but what is something that you're just like, this is a non-negotiable for me in business and maybe in your life?
Yeah. So I told you 30 minutes. I'm like, man, I can talk. You need to cut me off. Okay. Okay. My non-negotiable every single day, and my girls know this, and they'll probably like just drop it in the chat. 10 new conversations every single day. That is non-negotiable to me. And I really implemented this with my team when I remember someone had told me, Jamie, if you're not doing your host to post, how are you telling your team to do 10 host to post? And I remember sitting back being like, that was an aha to me. How can I preach to my team, go do your 10 host to post, but I'm not having to do that because I'm finding getting my customers from somewhere else, right? I'm like, we're both having success, but how can I preach it if I'm not doing it? So I changed it in my mind, and I said, it doesn't matter how many host to posts you're getting up. If you're not having new conversations every single day, you're not going to get customers or distributors at all. Okay. You could be posting every single day, but if you are not in your messenger having new conversation, you will not sign new customers or distributors. And that was a really, really, really big aha moment for me and my team. So with that, we implemented 10 new conversations, and we kind of relate it to this. Imagine you have a funnel, okay? Your business is your funnel, and you have the same size funnel, okay? Imagine only having those 10 customers, and say you never added to them, okay? You have the same 10 people you're talking to, you're following up, but you're never adding to it. Your funnel's gonna stay this big. But if you are having 10 new conversations, you're going to be expanding that funnel, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now when you go and follow up, you're going to have more yeses because you have more people to follow up with. You have to make sure you're expanding your funnel to more people. We are in a network marketing business. What does that mean? We have to network. We got to talk to people. We got to talk to a lot of people because everyone is different with their business. And I found some days I may talk to 10 people and I get left unread on all 10 people, but I could talk to 10 people on another day and I could get 7 people to respond. Drop a number 7 if you can relate to that. You're just like, this is so frustrating. What is going on? Every single day is so different. But my thought process is if I'm talking to 10 new people every single day, and that can be from anywhere. You could be messaging for post to post, for giveaway. You could be putting new before and afters on. You could be, I don't know, going to whoever viewed your stories and messaging them, just lots of different ways is how I'm starting these 10 new conversations. And I'm sure Steph could go over with you guys later on how to, start new conversations, but having new conversations is always going to be able to keep your messenger booming. I know for myself, if I do not have, if I'm not having new conversations in my messenger daily, I know I'm not growing my business, and I cannot expect to be signing customers and distributors if I'm not talking to new people every single day. And I feel like there is something to say. You're way more consistent when you have people you're talking to. Like when you guys drop a number 8 if you feel that way, when all of a sudden you have you're talking to 10 different people and you're like, oh, I feel so good. Like, this is cool. Like I you feel happy and excited about the business. But whenever it's stagnant and you feel like no one's you're not talking to anyone, it's way easier to just put this business on the back, right? The back burner. You're like, this is fine. No one's, I'm not talking to anyone anyways. But if you have people who are actually responding back to you and you are having new conversations, you're going to be so much more consistent and you're going to do this business to your fullest every single day.
I love this, you guys. This is a lot of information that you can take and do massive action with. And I knew we would do that. Like at the end of the month, I was like, okay, this is going to be perfect, because you all know that if you've been consistent, you can go and reach out to people instead of waiting for them to reach out, creating that funnel, making those. There's so many ways that we can grow this business and whatever you feel like doing. And I feel like I shared this last week with a couple different groups. And when you're in this business a long time, you've had a lot of conversation, you've done a lot of posts or reels, and your memories pop up, guess what? You have a lot more people to follow up with. And our business looks completely different than it did 13 years ago. It's completely new product. And I can use this as a great example. A memory popped up and it was from 7 years ago. And it was congratulating some people on promoting. And so I reached out to some of those girls. Life looks completely different. And we know that this business is different. Guess what? I got 3 distributors from that, just from reaching out and going, hey, I don't know if you've ever thought about coming back to It Works, but the business is so different now. Here's just a little bit. If you want more information, just let me know. So, and it can be even of a product or, looking at whatever you posted, and maybe it was your dog, but everybody, commented and liked on that. Do you go take the time to go, I'm going to go through these and create a new conversation? You just don't know where that's going to lead. And what that does, you guys, when you take this into your action while you're waiting for these reels and TikToks to take off, is you're getting eyes that might not be on your page currently back to your page to see all these new before and after pictures that if they scroll through, are you sharing promotion pictures? I used to think that, oh my God, I'm like, seriously, how many before and after pictures do I have to show? Do I have to show all these cut coffee? Trying to keep it still looking good. And I got over that this year. I was like, I need to show this to get back to showing new people coming in. You've got to be consistent, because I don't know which before and after picture is going to take off for someone. So you can go right through my page and look, there's before and after picture, there's life, there's promotions. It's everything that somebody would say, I think I could do that. Or I'm curious about, how do you do this all the time? So don't be afraid to go back through. And it might not even be anything to do with It Works, but you get to create those conversations. That is something I'm taking and going to be sharing a lot more of, is not just getting 10 hosts to post up. I think it even goes back to that question we had at the beginning, Jamie, was, I'm being consistent, but now you get to control that with, are you actually, instead of being consistent with your 10 hosts to post up, getting your TikToks? Are you actually opening the door for those conversations? That is what is going to help you. I believe that 1000%, getting more customers, more distributors, conversations lead to something. And it's generally one of those two things, right? So that one is my new one. So Jamie, thank you. I am always a learner too. I am never like not too proud to learn, because you can take that and learn so much from people all the time. So I love this Zoom, and I was like, we'll try to do it 30 minutes, but you have so much good information. What is one last, I know this, we got to get this one last, like, maybe it's a must do, a tip, something. Is it your conversation? Maybe it's a closing script or something. What is one last piece that you could share?
Yeah. Okay. So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. The first thing I want to say is don't overthink it and just do it. I remember my brother telling me when he was in the Marines, and I had always said, like, I cannot be a runner. I wish I could run a mile. And I was like, I can't do it. And he's like, just don't think about it. He's like, just run. And I remember being like, okay, yeah, just run. Like, I can't do that. And like, when I started running, I just told myself, just run, just run, just run. Same with this business. Don't overthink it and just do it. So with that, when I say just do it, you have to schedule time. You have to schedule time. And the reason why, okay, I have a 6-year-old, and I'm telling you, this is why I have to schedule it. You will tell yourself right now, okay, Jamie, tomorrow I'm going to be so good. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to do it. Okay, guess what? Tomorrow's going to happen, and you're going to wake up with a sick kid. You're going to wake up and your life is going to be crazy. All of a sudden, your day is going to go by in a snap of a finger, and all of a sudden tomorrow it's going to be 9 p.m. and you haven't got anything done on your list, and you're going to sit there and be like, dang, well, too bad I can't do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Okay. And it's that never ending hamster wheel that you're always trying to get ahead. But if you schedule yourself time for this business, you will make time for it. Just like you're going to make time. If you have scheduled yourself time for an appointment, you're going to go there, because you're not going to schedule anything around that time. Go and do that. Set a timer of 20 minutes. Guys, don't try to overdo it your first day. Don't try to be like, I'm going to work 8 hours. Guys, no. I remember Pam Souter always saying that. Like, if you work this business 8 hours a day, you would have been double black diamond by now. Okay. So like, obviously you're not doing the income producing activities you should be in 8 hours. We're probably scrolling, right? So just schedule the time and do the work, and you will get results from it if you stay consistent with it.
I love it. You guys, that's all we need to do. Stay consistent, put in the work. Don't compare, just do it. Like, no question. What are your non-negotiables? Now it's getting 10 conversations up every day. There is confidence in taking the product. You have everything you guys need. From a brand new distributor, you should feel super confident. You're getting those amazing products. Make sure that you use it. I think that we need to end on that. Like, just do it, you guys. Just take the product, stay committed to it, be consistent, because if you don't, somebody else is going to scoop those people up for you instead, right? Because you've laid the groundwork. So I want you to reap those benefits. And I absolutely know you can. We've got a whole full rest of the week to make sure that these promotions are done. Work like so hard that you are making yourself super proud. If you don't quite make it, I feel like April is going to be your time to do things even bigger and better. And our company just keeps bringing out amazing things. So I know that March is still a lot of time to make that stuff happen. But Jamie, thank you. I've been wanting to get you on for a while, so I'm so glad that you did. You gave me so much information and fire just to get back out and just do what we love to do. And I have my non-negotiables of 10 new conversations. Like, I love that. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you guys can go to her page, give her some love, and we will see you guys again next week. Brand new month. So lots of things coming next month too. So have an amazing week, and I can't wait to celebrate all of your promotions for March. Bye, guys.